What's up, YouTube? It's Coach Corey, and today we're going to go over my top tips for new Brawl Stars players. So let's get into it. Alright, so Android just soft launched for Brawl Stars. I think it's time to do a video on my top tips for new players. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Coach Corey. I've been in the top 200 in Brawl Stars for almost a whole year, basically a whole year. So I have a lot of great tips for you guys. And I think let's start this video out with just some general tips on Brawl Stars. Best way to spend gems, what to double in your boxes, a bunch of general tips as well. Towards the end of the video, we'll go over some quick tips for each game mode as well. So make sure to stick around for that. Let's start out with some general tips for Brawl Stars though. But I would like to say, guys, let me know what tips would you recommend for new players as well. Alright, so the first thing I want to start out with is the shop in Brawl Stars. Whether you should be spending your coins on power points, what to spend your gems on, stuff like that. So let's start out with the coins. Now, one thing to know in Brawl Stars is what takes the longest to max your account. The biggest limiter is coins. Coins is by far the longest thing to get all of them as far as what to max your account with. You do need coins to max your brawlers, to get them to level up. That's what you have to spend. You also need, of course, power points, but coins is going to take you the longest to get. So as far as spending your coins on power points in the shop, if you want to max your account the fastest, I'm going to recommend you don't do that. Now, maybe there's one or two specific brawlers you really want to max, your favorite brawlers. Maybe you go ahead and buy power points for them every once in a while. But otherwise, I'm really going to recommend you not buy anything in the shop with your coins. Now, of course, you do get that free box in the shop every single day, so make sure you get that. And while we're talking about the box, let's talk about how to use your reward doubler. Now, as I was saying, coins are the biggest limiter on maxing your account. So typically, when you double a reward, you want to double coins. The only exception might be is if you get a really low amount of coins and you get a really high amount of power points in one specific brawler. Like maybe you get 20 or 25 power points in one brawler. That might be a good time to double the power points. But otherwise, you typically just want to double the coins. All right, now let's go into talking about how to spend your gems. But first off, how to buy your gems. So you're going to end up getting these special offers in the shop. There's going to be offers for either buying a brawler with gems, or you might get an offer like this, the level 5 pack. There's experience packs for every 5 levels up to level 25, and it's usually the best value to spend your money. It's always the best value to spend your money. So buy those first if you're going to buy gems. Now, of course, you have to be at that level to have that offer available to you. There's going to be a level pack every 5 levels until level 25. And look at this value. In this level 5 pack, you can buy 80 gems and a mega box, which is equivalent to 10 brawl boxes. And you get 80 gems. Normally, 80 gems costs 7 Canadian dollars for me. But in here, I can spend $2.79 and get those 80 gems plus the equivalent of 10 brawl boxes. So that's definitely the best way to spend your money. Now, as far as spending your gems, you can spend your gem on either big boxes or mega boxes, or you can spend it on key doublers. You can also buy coin packs, and on the weekends, you can also buy tickets for special events. And the special events are going to be Robo Rumble and Boss Fight. Now, the best way to spend your gems, if you want to max your account the fastest, of course, you can also buy skins for brawlers. But the best way to spend your gems, if you want to max your account the fastest, is always going to be that biggest ticket packet. Now, you don't see it right now, but it is available to buy on the weekends when special events are available. That's when you can buy the tickets. And when you have those tickets, the best way to use them is in Robo Rumble. If you're looking for some guides on how to play Robo Rumble, I have a bunch of videos. There's some links above on how to play each specific map for Robo Rumble. All right, now let's get into some general tips on how to play Brawl Stars, and then tips for each game mode. So the first thing I would say is in Brawl Stars, you're going to figure out that each brawler has strengths and weaknesses for each game mode and map. You're going to find some brawlers are good on certain maps and game modes, and sometimes they're not good on those maps or game modes. So you want to try and figure out what maps and game modes suit each brawler. Now, if you want some help doing that, I do make guides on every single game mode, and I do ranking videos for each game mode and overall rankings as well. You can find some links to those above or even in the description as well. But in general, you're going to find that on maps that have a lot of walls and a lot of grass, that short range and medium range brawlers are generally going to be better on those maps. And you're going to find maps that don't have many walls, going to want to probably prefer a longer range brawler. Also, as far as throwers like Barley and Dynamite, they're good on maps with a lot of walls that they can throw over and really use those walls to their advantage. Another tip for Brawl Stars is it's always easier to play in a game room with friends that you know and can talk to than with randoms. This is pretty much almost always true. So try and join a band, make some friends, grow your friends list, and get some people in a game room. That way you can talk about what's going wrong, what brawlers are you using, what sort of team comp do you want. It just ends up making it much easier. But of course, if you aren't able to often get in a friend room or game room with other people, your best bet is probably to play Showdown, where you don't have to rely on others and you can just better yourself and beat other people. Before I get into some tips for each game mode, I want to give one last tip. And this happens a lot at lower level trophy games, as people tend to group up a lot. You don't want to do this. This ends up giving the enemy really easy shots and a lot of damage overall. Try and spread out as a team. You want people generally on one side of each of the map, one on the left, one on the right, and one on the middle. This is going to be true for most game modes and in general anyways, so try and spread out as a team. Alright, now let's go into tips for each game mode. And starting out with Gem Grab. And Gem Grab, it's obviously the most important thing is carrying and keeping those gems. So the first thing to do is figuring out whether you should even be picking up those gems. If you're a short or mid-range brawler, you probably don't want to be picking up those gems, as once you do, the only way you're going to be able to hit an enemy is to get close to them, of course. And then if you die, you're giving the enemy gems close to them, as opposed to if you're a long-range brawler and you die, the gems are going to be closer to your spawn. So brawlers like Poco, Pam, any brawler with a high amount of health and has a medium or long range, those two things together is going to be a good gem carrier. My other tip for Gem Grab is, of course, once you get 10 gems, try and go back to your spawn. That way if you die, the gems will be closer to your spawn and you'll be closer to having that invincibility of respawning, and you can get those gems much easier. Alright, now over Showdown. One of my best tips for Showdown: make sure you check the bushes, the grass, everywhere you go. There can easily be someone hiding in those bushes just waiting to take you out. This frequently happens in Showdown. My other tip, and some people may not like this, but as you get higher up in trophies, you might want to start teaming with other people. Now what this is you spin in a circle and someone might be on your team, but of course you can also do this and then betray the person and kill them, or it could happen to you as well, so you always have to be careful. But as you get higher in trophies, this is going to happen more frequently. Somewhere above 150, 200 trophies, you're going to start seeing this a good amount. Alright, now Duo Showdown. One of my best tips for Duo Showdown: don't be too aggressive. You can easily be attacking one team and then another team can all of a sudden come down upon you as well. On top of that, try and push one enemy team into another instead of fully engaging them, as after all, you never know when their teammate is going to exactly be respawning. If you see one person, their teammate could be respawning at any moment and they will be invincible and very hard to deal with. So with that in mind, also try and keep that mental timer in your head on when their teammate is going to be respawning. Teammates respawn every 15 seconds, so make sure you're not being too aggressive and you end up having to deal with an invincible enemy teammate. Alright, now for Heist. My top tips for Heist is going to be, if you see someone on the enemy team, a Daryl or a Bull, one of those two brawlers, and they have their super, make sure you have at least one person back by your safe to defend for whenever that enemy Daryl or Bull supers to your safe. Those two brawlers are really good on offense. And my other tip is going to be to use one of those two brawlers, as those two brawlers easily can deal the most damage to the safe the easiest, as they can super in from a far distance away and they deal a lot of damage up close. They are definitely some of the best brawlers for Heist. Alright, now Bounty. My best tips for Bounty is going to be, you want to stick to long-range brawlers for the most part in Bounty. Unless it's Outlaw Camp or Snake Prairie, long-range brawlers in Bounty are king, like Piper, Brock, Ricochet, Colt, even Bo as well. All those brawlers are going to be really good for Bounty. The other thing I would say is try and protect the teammates on your team who have a high amount of stars. Also in Bounty, once you get hit, try and heal up for the most part. Not dying is the key to winning in Bounty. Now for Brawl Ball, one key tip for Brawl Ball is to try and destroy the walls around the enemy's goal and not destroy the walls around your own goal as well. Destroying those walls can be key for getting more chances and opportunities to shoot the ball at the enemy's goal. Another really good tip for Brawl Ball is if you're ever in a situation where you're taking a lot of pressure, a lot of damage, is put the ball in the corner by your own goal. This can make it really hard for the enemy team to score, as you can spawn right by that ball with invincibility, and it makes it really tough for the enemy. Alright, now I'm not going to go over tips for Robo Rumble and Boss Fight. I do have a bunch of videos on how to play Robo Rumble, and I have one or two on how to play Boss Fight as well. So make sure to check those out if you want some tips on those game modes. Alright guys, those are all the tips I want to give today, but I will have ranking videos every single week on either the best brawlers overall in Brawl Stars or the best brawlers for each game mode, and other tip videos as well. So make sure to check back and subscribe if you want some more of that. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you later.